Hi, I'm Bob Zimmer, Member of Parliament, once again talking to you about the critical situation in our BC public fishery. Minister Jordan continues to delay her decision to open a selective fishery in our province. Let's hear from members of the BC public fishing community about what will happen if she continues to delay her decision.
We offer programs for the youth to be able to come down and get out on the water. Or we take kids out to go and show them how to crab, or teach them how to tie knots, teach them valuable life skills that I grew up with here. So we want them to be able to have that, to be able to have the ability to go out to catch a fish for themselves, or to be able to come down the marina and step onto the docks and be able to know how to fix that. So to remove the marina would be to remove a very large chunk of the band's soul, essentially. Yeah. And especially when the fishing it's great. It's been great for the last 3 years. Some of the best runs I've seen in 15, 20 years.
Yeah, and I think continuing to fight for the rights of public fisheries is extremely important. This is a resource that is all of ours. It's all Canadians' resource.
To many members, in fact, the majority of our members, it doesn't matter if they're youth or people of my age, being able to do these activities outdoors in the sun is very positive from a mental health perspective.
Absolutely.
And at a time when mental health is seeing significant declines as a result of the measures being taken, it's even more important than ever.
I think it's about getting a message out there that all this matters. It's not just one voice that matters, it's a united front. Trying to get a unified group of us together to understand that we all need to share in the environmental stewardship moving forward.
It's so important from a conservation perspective, just to, if you care about something, you're gonna protect it. So, there's a science aspect, but salmon fishing also connects community to salmon. If people don't care about something, they're going to walk away from it. And that's kind of what we're starting to see from the younger demographic, is because of the lack of opportunity on these, on these closures that, have a political vibe to them. It's, we're losing that generation of people that care about salmon.
The minister needs to stop listening to the bureaucrats and the agency and start listening to the people that are on the water and the people that understand the fishery and the resource. The people that are willing to be engaged and do something about it. And it needs to be more than virtue signaling. It needs to be a serious, sincere effort where there's a conversation, and the people in BC that recognize what the problems are and understand the resource, that's who the minister should be listening to. And there also needs to be some serious budget components in the federal budget that support these initiatives.
Take a look at what the public fishery brings to the table, so social economic value. It's tremendous, and that benefits all British Columbians. But the economic value is one thing. I always put more emphasis on the social value, because it's truly priceless. Working together is going to be the solution. We need to deal with the real issues and the real impacts, and we don't have time to debate. We need to get on it right now.
If those anglers don't have that whole structure about people volunteering, people putting money back into the resource, is going to crumble. And the recreational fishery is a major contributor of monies and volunteer time to helping the resource.
We need the Department of Fisheries and Oceans to engage in a real comprehensive recovery program. It requires people, money, and resources to be put into making sure those wild fish have every chance possible with all of the difficulties like climate change, etc. going on. We want that.
Right.
But we also need to be able to have the recreational fishery, the people in the public fishery, have an opportunity to keep that fishery alive during that time of recovery. Look, do whatever you can to protect this. This is a very special, unique fishery.
Like so many British Columbians, some of my favorite memories are fishing with my family. If you believe the minister needs to start listening to the concerns of our BC fishing families and communities, I encourage you to call her at her office at 902-527-5655 or send an email to bernadette.jordan@parl.gc.ca. We must ensure that our children and our grandchildren have the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors and participate in an angling tradition that has been a proud way of life for generations.